is the bonus thing?
Shu Ishido's diary.
Oh.
Hello, everyone. You are listening to Skipping the Queue. I was about to say Ultra Q. That's not true. Skipping the Queue. My name is Red. I'm joined by Mel.
Hello. I hope you have the wings of imagination.
Yeah, we got loads of imagination today. Also joined by Brad.
Explosive births.
Explosive births.
True, America. Life is a miracle.
Life is a miracle. Also, Gundam F91. For some reason, it just shows up as just after images that have mass. I'm just Leo point.
And the moon is there.
The moon is also there.
The moon is there.
The moon is there. So yeah, we have. It's been a long time since we talked about Ultraman Arc.
Yeah, the show's
which was
like
a show we watched.
halfway done now.
Yeah, we watched 2 episodes of it, and then I lost my mind, and I had to stop looking at Audacity for a while. And
then we had Guyver.
And then we had Guyver.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll have Mirror Man. But for right now, we have watched episodes 3 through 7, and maybe if we were putting in the extra work, the first 2 episodes, rewatching the first 2 episodes to remember what Ultraman Arc is.
I didn't do that, but I did re-listen to
Fuck no.
I also didn't do that.
I did have to rewatch episode 3 to 5 because I did it while it was airing, and then the week episode 6 aired. It was like, well, we're taking a month break. I'm like, well, I'm not watching these episodes now.
Yeah, fair. So yeah, we have watched episodes 3 through 7. And Ultraman Arc is ticking along nicely. So we have got our gang. We've got main guy Yuma,
Yep.
and we've got Ishida. These are our main 2. These are our 2 guys. These are
Okay, I
yeah.
read.
Yes.
Ginna's a check.
He's not beating the Ginnaza allegations.
I was thinking that watching episode 6.
Yeah, the episode where he's like, I'm gonna kill this alien. this alien shouldn't be here. And everyone's like, no, don't shoot him. And he's like, wait, he could just be lying. Why would he tell us the truth? He could still be a bad guy. And I'm like, yeah, hello, Nobuchika Ginnaza.
I love how after we have the big important empathy message of that, the episode still ends with him getting arrested.
It does.
Don't worry. His testimony will be really helpful.
Hey, let me tell you about episode 1 of Psychopaths. Yeah, it's sometimes you go step down from killing people and you just arrest people. Now,
a legal death.
Yeah, legal. Jeez, yes.
It is interesting the way they highlight very clearly the super cop brain towards aliens the GDF is, which it's like a current obviously in the various shows, and we'll see. Obviously, we haven't seen a lot of modern Ultraman see their own take on it, but we haven't got a lot of it is just a thing that's less oh, they're doing the formula, and more this feels this is intentional the way they're highlighting it. Which is oh yeah, you get, it's illegal to harbor aliens is a thing that's said.
Yeah,
this is definitely one of a few running things that have built up in this show is Ishida just kind of gesturing towards this way more militant GDF stuff going on, and we got a little bit of our please give us a little bit of jurisdictional conflict as we've got the GDF being like, we got Ishido basically being like, if you don't, if you don't want to follow me, if you don't want to do what I say, it's, you don't deal with aliens. I deal with aliens.
Yeah.
So kind of keep out of it.
They mentioned that in that episode, they're like, yeah, we've had some skip investigations involving aliens, so once it's been proven to be an alien, the GDF takes over.
Yeah.
I love how as soon as the term UFO gets dropped, he's like, "Did you say UFO?"
Yeah, he's like, he like goes from like, "Ooh, I'm a quirky guy. I like coffee," into like, "I'm evil. I've got there's a kernel of evil in me. I can do bad things."
Actually, I think he's probably a lieutenant at most.
Okay.
I think you're mispronouncing him. Is Shu Ishido.
Ishido. I keep calling it Ishido. This has now been a running thing, is I just don't remember Japanese names anymore. I don't know why. It's been over the last, 3 weeks or something. I called Kotaro Kyotaro repeatedly.
It's okay, because my brain can't decide if I want to say Kotaro or Kotaro. And it is like a weird accent thing. I think
I can't decide if I'm gonna call him Sakamoto or Sakamoto.
I skip all this. I just get them wrong.
Yeah.
I just one of the other things, the kind of running things something we identified early was like, we've got immediate setup for what the rest of the show is. We've got this big horn that's stuck here that's kind of like we get it tied into like the flashback of Yuma's past, his origin story, but we also it's also like it's related to new kaiju that show up, the galactic beasts.
We got the episode 3 is 3 months ago when Yuma joined Tech.
Yes.
And we meet his grandma.
Yeah, we do. Before we talk about any of his family, I just want to say, so this series ends on Zeton, right? Those are Zeton guys, the galactic beasts.
Oh, absolutely. I was thinking that.
They're obviously evoking Zeton, but I have no idea if they're actually gonna have actual Zeton as a final boss. They might not actually pull up. They might. We might be in the era where they'll bring back callback guys for standalone episodes and do homages in the various kaiju, but they might not necessarily want the final boss to just be a guy from the past.
Okay,
I will say.
Oh, go for it.
I'm not a Zeton guy, as I've historically said. I thought these guys looked cool. I really liked their
I was curious what
take
you think,
on that
because it's
aesthetic.
It's like doing the thing, but also you're doing something new with it.
Well, also too, I find they're doing more with it in the story that I care for. I think my big thing with Zeton is, I just don't find concept of, this is the one that kills the hero good as interesting as, something hero, it's tied in more to the origin. It kills his parents.
Ultra Mid 66.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like these kaiju. I think the designs are cool. I think generally the kaiju stuff in this show is good. We've
got some mammalian ones, which I feel is not as common.
Yeah, we've had our first repeated one as well, and it's just it's basically just an animal, right? They're just 3 of them show up in one episode, in the UFO episode, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't care for the last of these. The mother
saber-toothed tiger, yeah.
Yeah. But the rest of them I've quite enjoyed.
I thought it was alright. I think it's...
I don't think it's bad, but it's not... I feel like the others
I feel like if we got that episode in the Showa show, it would be like, what show is this?
True. When the scanner was when it was there's an intense heat source here in the kaiju, and I was like, it's a mother, and they're like, I detect 2 heartbeats, and I'm like, oh, it's a mother, and Yuma's like, oh, some kaiju have 2 heartbeats.
That scene just had me like, well, this is how you know this is a show for children, because come on. Everyone sees
this is where do babies come from?
I will say what I do like about that episode is that the kaiju's life cycle involves blowing the fuck up, and you can't
Yes.
really, like, stop that. And so this, like, the decision is like, we can't, we have to, if we want to actually let the species continue, we have to let this explosion happen. But how?
Yeah, I thought that was fun when it wasn't like it explodes out of revenge. It's just like, yeah, it does just do this, and it is just like really annoying for you. Like loads of people are gonna die if you try to do the right thing here, so you got to figure something out, mate.
Now, I did think about the thirsty little flower meme a little bit during.
I'm just a poor little baby giant saber tooth. You have to let me explode.
We can't do that, and just let him fucking die.
There should be a kaiju that's the thirsty little flower.
I don't want to see Ultraman pissing on anything.
That will be Ultraman Tara.
Haven't you already seen the Jamal episode?
True.
Also, there was a kaiju that was a piss stain. This did happen.
That's true.
That is true.
Hokuto wet the bed until he would die.
Hokuto wet the bed until he was 9, and telling a child that was the most heroic thing he did all series.
I wonder how many aspects of the Dark Triad Hokuto fulfills. Well, he does torture animals. Oh, fuck.
Right. He might.
Are we criminally profiling Hokuto Seiji?
Yeah. We're gonna get Guinness on the case. Although no, he's anti-profiling, isn't he? Profiling is too close to actual deduction. Psychopath is so good. Psychopath's brain is so big. Oh man. I was playing the Psychopath's visual novel, and like the only good bit of it was like there's like some like fan servicey things, and like occasionally you'd try to flatter Ginza and be like, oh yeah, you're well deduced, good detective skills, and he'd react with disgust. He'd be like, how dare no, that's not my job. What a cool guy. So we got a series of like a few episodes here. We're not doing any summaries for them. Yeah. I don't even know that we're necessarily going to go through them individually. Do we have any favorites?
I really like that seawater one.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
So like, I'll just say, like, I watched episode 3 to 5 months ago, and I had to rewatch them again. And I feel like I was cooler on episode 3 to 4 at the time, but I was also watching them live and wasn't taking a bunch of notes. Then rewatching them, taking more detailed notes, I liked them a lot better. But I do think episode 5 is probably of those first 3, I think 5 is the best one. It might even be I like the Alien one too.
Alien one's probably my favorite of the bunch. 5
or 6 are probably my favorite.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
The fun thing about episode 5 is, it's the episode about the captain Ban, and like he's just like, yeah, I used to be a dinosaur guy, and I'm like watching Aberrant.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I bet.
That's your guy.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And that one is fun because you get like he meeting up with his own old professor, and they like bounce biology theories off each other. But you got the good moment with him where he's like, damn, you could have been a good scientist, a good researcher. And then he's like, well, then K-Day happened. I was like, well, I could use my skills for something besides just research, and I thought that'd be better. And it was a cool character moment.
I love when he's like, yeah, you're showing up on TV all the time. He's like, well, you gotta follow the trends. I was like, that's not the trends. TV's dying, man.
I see. No, he's an old man. He's allowed to think TV's the trends.
Yeah, true.
He's allowed.
TV shows up a lot in this show, though.
It does. It does now that you mention it. The internet's going to show up next episode.
I love how they're doing the fights where, like, you can't... Now, I don't know if they do it every time now that I think about it, but, like, a lot of these episodes you get the fight and then you get, like, camera footage of a nearby building showing the fight.
Like in the
cell phone footage.
You get, like, a POV shot from, like, the tank the GDF sends out.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like those tanks, by the way?
Oh, big fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the little model tanks.
But yeah, they're playing with perspective. It's cool.
The one that stuck out to me that I was a fan of was where they did like a building, like a billboard on like a building, showing like news footage of the fight, and then the fight crashes through that billboard, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, they're doing cool stuff. Like
the underwater fight was cool too.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of underwater fights in Ultraman, but it's always a treat when we get them because
presumably because it ruins the suit.
Yeah, it's either it ruins the suit, or you have to like do an effect, I guess, to make it like convincing. Without
like in Stingray.
Yeah.
Nods my head sagely.
Yep.
Yep. Well, the bit here I like compared to the Showa stuff we've watched too is they really can play with like, oh, it's dark underwater and like there's glowy bits and illuminating the fight so you can actually see it.
Illuminating the office.
What was that?
Yeah.
Illuminating the office.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I still not a fan of that decision. I think.
I feel like
I don't think it looks good.
I feel like in the outside shots it's better. Like when they're just about town, it feels toned down.
Yeah.
It's fun.
A question for Brad.
Yes.
Are you still unnerved by the robot?
Yeah, I really don't like UP still.
Okay. I was just checking in.
I was waiting for a good opportunity to bring him up, but he's not grown on me.
he's just there. Like he's a mascot. He's useful.
Is he one guy? Is he two guys?
I don't know. I don't know why they did that. It's needlessly confusing. I like the episode where it's just like, yeah, there's a rat problem, and they're like, well, it's a kaiju because it's a big rat, and it turns out, oh wait, it's actually a kaiju.
It's a big rat.
There's some fun detective work stuff where it's like weird how this rat only eats electric equipment and not any of the actual food.
It's like classic Ultraman science where Ishido's like, oh yes, that there was a tests on rats to make them eat electricity. So I was like, okay, man. Okay, brother. That's okay.
Yeah, the rat's like plugged into the generator and it can't attack Ultraman. It's good.
Just opening a drink, don't mind me. So Yuma's origin story. His parents fucking dead.
Yeah.
Murdered on K-Day.
Those
alien bastards killed my parents.
On K-Day, shakes fist.
On K-Day. Yeah.
And he's like, I smile and do my work so no one will have to suffer like me again, which is a fun way of doing it. Like, you know.
We also get an interesting bit that implies that at least for some of the kaiju on K-Day, the Giant of Light himself, Ultraman Arc, managed to kill them. However, the official story doesn't seem to acknowledge that, like, at all.
Yeah.
The monsters that we see Ultraman take out at the beginning that are Zeton coded apparently died because of a change in oxygen levels, I think they said officially.
That's the official story, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But Yuma's like, nah, I saw Ultraman.
That sounds like a thing that someone who got Epsteined would like they'd write down. Like, you know what I mean?
It's a change in oxygen levels.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
That's what Seal does to Kaji in that one episode of Evangelion.
Yeah.
Damn, it's weird, like the amount of reduced oxygen levels based on application of force to the neck. Anyway.
Yeah. This is wild what nature can do.
Yeah. And it's funny they spend that entire episode just like there's a weird glowing orb in his eyes. Like this seems like a weird localized weather effect.
Yeah, it's looks like a portal to another world, and they're like, I don't know, maybe clouds.
They also kind of like that with like the seawater episode where it's like, damn, I don't know why there's seawater here, but it doesn't seem to be a kaiju.
Mm-hmm. I liked the vibe, the whole vibe on that episode of just like the natural disaster thing of just being like that whole like where like we have to push ourselves to try to find they're pretty sure there's probably something fucked up going on. And it's just like they've been given the order to return to their homes and we just don't think it's safe yet, so we're just gonna run it to the wire, see if we find anything.
Yeah. It feels like the opposite of like a lot of the some of the recent shows we watched, where it's like in those shows, it's something weird happens, and for some reason the teams are in disbelief at the idea a kaiju would be evolved.
We can name and shame Tak. We can name
I mean,
and shame.
Matt skills do this too, but also definitely Tak.
Tak was like actively hostile to taxpayers. it was like listen, I know that we're here for your safety, but also I think maybe you were drinking. I think maybe you were seeing things. I think maybe you're making things up for attention.
Yeah. But here it's like, listen, we know our job. There's no way a kaiju isn't fucking this shit up, so we should investigate a little bit more. I think it's cool.
It was good.
A lot of evacuations that we get to see because like Skip's primarily a research and evacuation team, which is fun. They're like, you know, the science guys, which I guess maybe is also why we get some weird science in the show, like Ishido Tani science, obviously, but you know.
I'm pro Ichino Tani science. They're missing the occult aspect of Ichino Tani science. Sometimes you have to get a little bit like, is this science? Yes.
To be fair, the last episode, like Yuma is like, listen, I didn't want to tell the team, but this does sound like a fairy tale, so I'm gonna go.
That is true. That is true. I forgot about that. Yes,
he hasn't seen it in a while, but he does in episode 2 have like his one handler guy who's like the folklore guy he goes to, which is fun.
I'm enjoying Ultraman Arc so far.
Yeah,
I think this is good.
I'm glad.
I think my enjoyment. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go. I think it needs a little. I think I've been joking about Gin as a coded Ishido. I think we could be leaning into Ishido's friction with the team a little more. I liked the moment where he was saying like, when Yuma's like, I thought that the hand gesture seemed like, you know, kind of warm and like gentle, and Ishido's like, I saw the exact same thing, and I was like, oh, that's a scary alien motherfucker. So like, it's weird how that works.
Yeah, I think,
and I like that.
I like how they're like the idea of imagination as the theme is a bit funny, I will say. But it's also funny what they're doing with it. Like one we haven't really talked about it, but like in both these episodes, in this batch, we get both of his power ups, which are like drawings Yuma did as a kid that get brought to life.
Yeah, he's Ultraman Arc has the Gravity Rush 2 forms, alternate forms.
Yeah.
He's got the fucking, except he's got the sun and the moon. And it's like one of them makes him faster, and one of them makes him stronger. And I'm like, I play Gravity Rush 2. Thank you.
Yeah. Spoilers. Maybe there's like a tradition of Ultraman forms being strong red coated, fast blue coated.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Who could possibly say?
Who could possibly say? But also like taking like imagination into like different areas, like. In the alien episode, Ishido like links empathy is a form of imagination because it allows you to like put yourself in someone else's position and understand them. I think that's an interesting way of like tying the theme together into different areas. As well as stuff like, you know, it's like obviously having an open mind, like trying different ideas. Like there's a conversation between Ben and his old professor buddy, where he's like, "You thought this fossil was a giant animal." And I thought, that's bullshit, it's too big. And then kaiju happened, and I was like, well, I was wrong. And it is fun that, like, like, it feels like, you know, imagination could be, like, a shallow theme, but they're doing stuff with it that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see going forward. Because we're, like, only a quarter of the way through the show now. On our end, obviously. For other people who are further along than us.
I'd say so far I'm enjoying it like equivalent to how much I was enjoying Blazer. I do think I liked Blazer's cast a little bit more, but they're doing interesting stuff with the Arc crew, as small as they are, relatively speaking.
Blazer's cast was fantastic.
Yeah.
The problem is the problem we constantly have with Blazer is that like the landing just was not stuck. It felt like the longer it went on. So hopefully Arc a little bit better on the follow through.
We haven't got a lot of like plot episodes yet, but it's we'll see.
That might be okay.
Yeah, but it's also like how they feed it in, because there's gonna be a finale that's gonna tie things together. That's just like the formula.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like how they do that. Also have a note for episode 3, because of like what of Rin, the girl's outfit, which was Amy has jorts, Rin has joveralls.
She's joveralls?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Yeah, like we have a smaller team this time too.
I'm like pro this show, but I think we could have a little more from the characters, because like we had like an episode for Rin, and it didn't really feel like much of an episode.
Yeah,
for Rin.
it was. I kind of got what they're going for. Where it was like she mentions, "Oh, I moved around a lot as a kid, but this place feels like home." And we get a bit of that, and like the episodes focus around like solving a community problem that ends up actually being a kaiju problem. In a way that's fun. And we don't get like a rodent kaiju much. That's a fun angle. But like, it's a fun episode, but it's like, it's not as much like, you don't get as much out of it as like fucking Yasunobu talking to the washing machine and getting hit by the laser that takes off his shirt.
Maybe Blaze is goated. Man.
The thing is, like, the first half of the show, we were like, damn, this is the best show ever.
The washing machine that wasn't in his house. The washing machine at the laundromat was his girlfriend.
It's so funny. We saw the episode,
presumably he was getting cucked daily.
It's so funny. We watched the episode 2 weeks before the actual canon Ultra 7 episode.
Oh, it was perfect timing. It could not have been better.
Funnier timing would have been if it was just like the same week, but
him when you posted like a clip of like he was in an episode of the new Sentai show, and I was like, I hope he takes off his shirt, and you were like, well, here it is.
Yeah,
here's the image.
It was like I forget which. Yeah, it's Boom Boomer. Like he just shows up for like a scene and like pulls up his shirt to show his abs. It's really fun.
He shows off his boom boongers.
Yeah.
Yep. He can't help it. Do we have anything more to say about Ultraman Arc, I guess?
I think I've accepted, at least for modern Ultra... probably for old Ultraman. I don't think I am a form/weapons carer guy for Ultraman in the way I might be for other things. I don't... Like, the Sun and Moon stuff, the sword, I'm just kind of like, it's whatever. Like, I guess it's cool that it adds variety to the fights, but, like, I'm not... when I see Ultraman do stuff like that, I'm never like, oh, that looks sick, in the same way that maybe sometimes Kamen Rider grabs me in that way.
Yeah.
And I know that's more of an emphasis in those shows than this.
Yeah.
But just sometimes I'm just like, oh, I just kind of roll my eyes
like,
a little bit
I
when
will
the
say,
form
like,
change happens.
Kamen Rider usually has more forms than Ultraman does. Like, Ultraman usually has, like, 5 at most. Usually more like 3. So, like, it's a lot more limited, but also it's unfortunately, like, the reality of, like, the toy era.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that Blazer had, like, 1 upgrade is kind of, like, unprecedented in the modern era.
See, that's the ideal to me. Like, I like the idea of getting 1 upgrade, and maybe right at the end you get, like, a really sick, like, 3rd form. And, like, that's all I need. That's all I need.
There's a better ideal. There's one more better ideal than this.
Yeah.
Which is the first, like, 10 episodes of Cougar. Which is just like going through, like, revealing a new, like, one of his alternate colored forms every couple of episodes, where it's like horror movie, like, what am I turning into?
I think a lot of, like, the modern Kamen Rider stuff tries to play that energy because they front load a lot of, like, side upgrades in, like, the first core of the show before he starts getting real upgrades, and that's when, like, the Most of the form bloat is at the start of the show, when it's like, this is where we're launching the toy line, and there's a lot of like weird gimmick forms, and then when you get to like the middle of the show, there's like more riders, and also like there's like more like substantial upgrades for the main character. So
when he gets his like green form in Kuga for the first time, and it's like stressing him out how much he can see and hear things, I'm like, this show is so good.
Yeah, Kuga's kind of like one of a kind. I don't know if there's a Kuga equivalent in Ultraman, but if there is, we'll see it.
If there's a Kuga equivalent of Ultraman, it will be a very good show.
Yeah.
Kuga good.
Yeah.
What else do we have to say? Do we have any last things to say about Arc?
I think it's wild how much Yuma Arc gets out of finding new twisted ways to use the Aegis reflector.
Yeah, the usage of like the shield stuff is fun for the fights.
I was re-listening back to our first episode, and like I think I remember in like the email he sent, Subjector said that like they're giving Arc less moves overall, but like more focus on more different ways of using those limited powers, and if this paying off to make interesting stuff happen in the show. Like he uses the reflector to turn into propeller underwater and stuff. And then like in the in episode, he like somehow combines the shield and like the buzzsaw into some weird sicko slicing device on one of the kaiju, and then like, what the fuck was that?
He deployed the deep dark fear of a child, thinking, what would happen if I fell off the ferry and the propellers were there? Evil.
Yeah. That's some imagination.
That's the power. The power of imagination is going, oh god, no, not like this.
He's gonna defeat Zetan in the final episode by having the elevator doors close on him.
No! It's going up without me. I'm stuck.
He defeats the enemy by showing them like a YouTube video documentary about spontaneous human combustion, and then Zetan will be like, "Oh no, I can't stop thinking about this."
Oh no. All right. I think we might be done.
We might be done.
So that is episodes 3 to 7 of Ultraman Arc. Our next batch will be. What will our next batch be? Let me look at this pin. It'll be in here. Won't it?
8 through 12.
Yeah.
8 through 12. Where the hell is 8 through 12?
I just assumed because we did 5.
It's 8 through 11.
Time. 8 through 11.
Yeah.
Where is this on the schedule?
Look, it's
I'm looking at the 29th of the 9th schedule.
It's on the 10th of November. Yeah.
On the 10th of no. Oh. What?
Are you looking at two separate things?
There is What schedule? What date was that schedule sent that you're talking about?
That's the more recent one from like September 29th.
I'm looking at the 29th of the 9th schedule.
Yeah, it's because we're not having a Taro that week.
Oh, okay. We're fine.
Yeah,
we're fine. Okay, everything makes sense now. This image makes sense now. I was being stupid. I was being big stupid. Everything's good. So yes, on November the 10th, we are doing Arc 8 to 11. Yeah. So that is, you've got like 20 days
to watch 4 episodes.
To watch 4 episodes. Will all of us watch them the night before? Stay tuned and find out.
Also, we have like some additional stuff that I have to do.
We have some additional stuff.
Yeah. Like the episode trivia.
True.
Yeah. All right. So, the directors, we got Takanori Sugimoto, who is like the head director, and he also did episode 1 and 2, was the director for 3. Then we have Masayoshi Takesu for 4 to 6, and then Tomonobu Koshi for episode 7. The writers were Jun Sugita, who was also the head writer, was also in episode 1 and 2, and he did episode 3 and 6. Junichiro Ashiki did episode 4. Toshizo Nemoto did episode 5, and Kyoko Katsuya did episode 7. Then for Kaiju, we got Mono and Daigelos in episode 3. They're the Zenon fuckers. Designed by Tomo Hyakutake, who previously did Liviera and Dorgo and Blazer. That's the respectively, it's the weird lab creature and then the mountain turtle guy. Early in the show. Taking some inspiration from both the rhinoceros and the stag beetle. That's the 2-horn stuff. Also borrowing from different classic Ultraman guys. Like, he obviously said on, but also a bit of like a Red King-esque tail, some antler stuff, obviously. Then we got Nezutron, the rat in episode 4, designed by Takahiko Waki. This is the first kaiju ever for the show, for Ultraman. But he's been working at Supro doing character design stuff since 2017.
Okay.
The whale in episode 5 is Livijira by Kemon Kawamoto, who is also the storyboarder for that episode. Apparently the director, Takesu, for the episode, wanted the kaiju mouth to be as big as possible, because, like, well, you want him to swallow Arc, ideally. I forget if that happens in the episode, but, you know. Alien Krako in episode 6, designed by Takanori Sugimoto, aka the director, so that's fun.
Okay.
And it's based on a Tengu. And then we got Homger, the cat, by Naoto Tsushima.
Cool.
And then we got Color Timers.
Shoot.
Episode 3, 3 minutes, 48 seconds. Episode 4, 6 minutes, 52 seconds.
That's extensive.
Episode 5, 4 minutes, 36 seconds.
Okay.
Episode 6, 4 minutes, 29 seconds.
Okay.
Then episode 7, 1 minute, 51 seconds, and then 4 minutes, 21 seconds, because he transforms twice.
So close. So almost. I don't know if there's actually any limit on this guy.
I also brought a bonus thing to the table.
Bonus?
Yeah.
What is the bonus thing?
Because we live in the year of multimedia. They like to put out bonus content for the kids to read on the websites.
Oh.
Including Shu Ishido's diary.
Oh.
Which, unfortunately is too long for me to read verbatim, because there's like, I don't know, 200 words or so every episode. But I did do a Cliff Notes version, if you'd like.
Okay. Sure. I will be reading the full thing later, but yes.
Yeah. You can find them like on the Ultraman Connection website, because they have just been translating them, but also on the wiki pages for the specific episodes, they also include the full diary page.
Ooh.
So here's the brief summary of Shu's diary. Episode 1. Shu talks about being very abruptly assigned to the Hoshimoto skip branch, so he decides it would be useful to write a diary, something he's never done before in his life, but finds appealing because he can be self-indulgent while writing it. He reflects on the kaiju attack in the first episode, and also how cool and amazing the Ultraman Arc Rainbow was, so much so that it lives rent-free in his head from now on.
This is gayest man!
He also comments on how underfunded the skip branch is in both terms of equipment and coffee machines, and he appreciates that his colleagues at least have heart. He starts thinking about the capital P plot involving the Big Horn before cutting himself off mid-diary entry by going, "Actually, it's getting late. I'm going to have one last cup of coffee."
Damn.
Episode 2. Shu writes about how he's been really busy with work, so he hasn't run a diary entry in a while, and he admires the strength of those who can actually commit to doing their dailies. He talks about how Yuma's naive words about trust inspired him more than he expected, and how his superior asked him to write a 30-page apology for using the satellite on a kaiju. He goes on to say the kaiju survey techniques are out of date and ponders the paradox of regulations being both a safeguard and a hindrance. On that note, he also decides to explicitly not write classified info in his diary. He also remarks on the sense of smell is better than his colleagues who didn't notice how bad the office stank after the end of episode 2. Because of the weird medicine stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the other ones are a bit shorter because there's a lot of repeating information or info dumping about the kaiju in the episodes. So episode 3, most of the entries exposition dump about the kaiju, the Zedon guys, but also Shu spends a bunch of it going, "Damn, it's crazy how tired I was," and I bumped into Yuma and it was like he brightened up my day. What do they mean by this?
Oh my god. My man.
Episode 4. Shu talks about submitting data to the GDF about the kaiju and Arc's new upgrade, as well as how he's been procrastinating on a 30-page apology. Episode 5. Shu talks about the importance of imagination, which covers both taking different approaches in the workplace and also the cool shit Arc does with his Aegis reflector.
Epic win.
Episode 6. Shu has an internal struggle session over his prejudice of aliens and made sure to apologize to the inn owner. He also ponders question of Croco society and Shudog biology.
Okay.
Well then.
Episode 7. Apparently they found the hole the baby went down, but they can't get to it. She muses about the cycle of life and also the cycle of new Toko shows bringing Toei-based power-ups. He's also self-conscious about the fact that he's the one naming kaiju and Ultraman forums for the GDF database, but you feel like he's having too much fun with it. He concludes, but...
This is pretty good.
They should put this in the fucking show. Why isn't this in the show?
Yeah, actually.
He concludes by talking about how the divide between tea and coffee drinkers at the Skip Branch exists, and how you can't force coffee into others because that's vulgar, but instead must open them up to organically, such as serving them hot iced coffee on a hot day.
He's so wise.
P.S. Apparently,
this guy would hate me. I do not drink coffee.
He'd be like, well, I respect your opinion while secretly disliking you for it.
While secretly trying to trick you into changing your opinion.
Yeah. Just being like, damn, it's a hot day. I brought you iced coffee. Wouldn't you like that right now? And by I brought you, I mean I got the robot to bring it for you. Because that's what happened in the episode.
We had to confiscate all of the running water and beverages in your house, but I did leave
this coffee
behind this coffee. Yeah.
He also ends with a P.S. There's guys at the GF who think they should have blown up the kaiju that Arc's help, and he's like, "This is worth considering. We should need to imagine a world without Arc." So he's still cooperating.
He's still got it. He's still okay. These should be happening at the end of the episode. What are we doing?
Yeah, like that's a thing.
Closing out the episode like this.
There's a thing I have to think about for too far in the future for us to worry about. But for example, Taiga and Zet both had kind of 5-minute-ish audio dramas, which are fun character bits, but also additional content, context stuff. Where I'm like, we'll have to figure out how to do it somehow, but we can't really skip it. Is my opinion on it. So,
well, we'll see.
That's okay. It's 10 years from now. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that. I'm glad to know that Ishido saw a rainbow one time and was so emotionally overwhelmed.
Hey,
Yeah, he's just going off of it. He's like, I see it whenever I close my eyes at night. So yeah, go read those on the wiki and then have fun having the full thing. I'll bring them next time as well.
Yeah. All right. I think that's us. This is the first time we've done a skipping the queue in a while. Our main show is Ultra Q, where we are going through Ultraman Taro at the minute.
Yeah.
3 episodes a week.
Better than last show.
It's pretty good. Yeah, better. We had frankly a really
time.
miserable time with Ultraman Ace. We really did not like that show. So we're happy that we've got Taro, and Taro is mostly just a good time. Back on Arc. So like I said, we will be coming back to this in November. The 10th of November is when we're recording the episode, I believe.
Yep.
And then it'll be going up at some point the week after. This show does not have a regular schedule because it's not a regular podcast. So see us then. If plugs... Oh, hang on. Do we have any emails about Arc?
Oh yeah, let me check. I don't think we did. I saw all the emails I saw was just for...
I kind of guessed we wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're not far enough for the show, and just check email.
Anyone who wants to email us about Arc would probably have emails about episodes we haven't seen yet.
Probably, yeah.
I just had to double check. So Dixon sent an email, but wasn't about Arc as far as I could tell. So.
Okay, cool. So we'll see you then in November. If you want to follow us, well, shall I just make the decision now? Should we just switch over to Blue Sky?
I mean, people still use Twitter, but
okay.
It feels like the boat is sinking, but people are still on it in like too high numbers.
Yeah, I'm cross posting for now, but I'm not gonna lie. I have rewired my brain to go to Blue Sky first. Yes, and I did that by making it so that the app icon I formerly had Twitter at on my phone now goes to Blue Sky, and just muscle memory, I open up Blue Sky first now. It's great. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, the thing is, I've been on Blue Sky for like a year. Like,
you're a Blue Sky elder.
Let's shut the fuck up. I have a tweet about this.
Do you have any rules and do you want to teach us about the local customs of Blue Sky?
Yeah, my rule is
guidelines.
My info for new Blue Sky posters is here's Zoffy.
Me asking the Blue Sky poster, hey, what does that hand signal mean?
It's a warm, gentle gesture.
Hey, actually, hold on. I do have one last thing to talk about. We got a stealth kamikaze, low-key kamikaze segment.
Oh yeah,
he did try to reinforce Junior himself.
Yeah, I am glad that he lived because I feel like the episode would have felt grosser if he died. Given what happened, but you know,
if he died, it would have been that.
He said he lived.
If he died, he got arrested. If he died, it would have been that classic thing of like, oh, we have sympathy for the alien, but also it's gotta go. Come on, we gotta get rid of him. Who's them? Don't ask. We are on Twitter at ultra_QUEUE. We are also on Blue Sky at ultraQUEUE. No underscores over there.
One day,
for anyone who's here who's a little bit surprised about this, just to let you know, Twitter kind of just revealed that blocks don't block things anymore, and it feels like the move to Blue Sky is kind of sticking this time.
Yeah, it's the announcement came, and then like suddenly a huge surge of people flipped over there, and suddenly like, well, instead of this being like my smaller feed, it feels like a more active feed, more like on Twitter, and it feels the energy has changed as someone who's been like on the site like regularly over the past year, as opposed to like a lot of people who like joined and then like disappeared for a while and went back to Twitter. I can like kind of cross posting on both consistently for like over a year. So
if that feels real now.
That's the thing is like if you've been on Twitter long enough to be a regular Twitter user, chances are there's at least a dozen people on that website that fucking hate you, and just everyone is like, no, I'm not dealing with that anymore. If blocks ain't working, I'm jumping ship.
Yeah, also, like, stalkers, that's a thing.
Yes. Yes.
Blue Sky also has, like, a nuclear mute, which is fun, for better or for worse.
Okay.
Where it's like, if you mute someone, they're just gone.
Oh, that's good, because I muted someone I wanted gone.
Yeah, unlike Twitter, where it's like, you can mute someone and you'll see them in your notifications.
See, right. I that's my ideal mute. I'm just like, I still want to respond to them if they say something to me, but I don't want to see their feed necessarily.
Yeah, I feel like I'd like the option because
I need to be able to turn off people's retweets.
Because can I be catastrophically honest? I would like to be able to mute both of you because sometimes you post screenshots from things that we're watching for the podcast.
My bad.
I think I have you both muted on Twitter. So actually knowing that I can't just mute you normally on Blue Sky, that is fucking annoying.
That's funny.
I can't believe I've been muted.
If it helps, I don't think I've podcast posted in a minute.
I do post different screenshots. I try not to show the end of the episodes, but like, you know.
It's the thing of it's the mute as opposed to messaging you. Why would you do this? How could you? I
still see your podcast posts. SMH.
Well, you know, that's mute me. we are done talking. We're talking about fucking Blue Sky. Join us next time.
I need to get plugs.
Oh, fuck. Right.
Yeah, I think we only
plugs.
plug the podcast and nothing else.
Go for it.
You can find me at Dear Crowns on Twitter and Blue Sky. We have email ultracupod@gmail.com, and we have a coffee ultracup fund, presumably one day subtitle thing, etc. You know the gist by now. Maybe you don't, but listen to our other podcasts and you can learn.
All right, Brad.
I'm B invoked everywhere. That's BE_INVOKED on Twitter. Same thing without the underscore on Blue Sky.
Sick. Okay, we're done here. Again, goodbye. We'll see you next time for more episodes of Ultraman Arc. At some point this week, there will be an episode. Well, on Thursday this week, there will be an episode about 3 more episodes of Ultraman Taro. Go listen to that. We're going to record that right now.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Later.